This is Henares making your day with part 4 of an article I wrote, The Medium is the Message. And subject, there but for the grace of God go I. My daughter continued, TV images come and go like the wind, no beginning, no end, a perpetual continuity, disjointed, unstructured like life itself. It has a message all its own. Take Tommy Manotoc in the cold print of the newspaper several years ago after he's supposed to have been kidnapped by Imelda's minions for eloping with Amy. Prim and proper, perfectly indignant was he. See Manotoc on the TV broadcast denying he was abducted. See him fidgeting with his hands, avoiding the gaze of his inquisitors. Your impression was that he was engaged in prevarication. He was lying, by God, he was pulling our leg. That is the message of that medium. That's the message of television over and above what Tommy Manotoc was saying. Television, like life, is discontinuous and jarring. A tender scene on television, movie, full of promises of eternal love may suddenly be interrupted by a reminder that love, after all, may be less eternal when confronted by body odor, bad breath, pimples, and hemorrhoids. Or that photographers of denims and jeans must be dwarfs 3 feet tall because they never could take a picture above the waistline. Their picture seems to hover in the vicinity of the sphincter ani. More about this after these messages. This is Larry Henares making your day with part 4 of The Medium is the Message. Subject, there but for the grace of God go I. And Juno continued. The greatest difference between literary and the television generation is how they react to world events. You who are no longer young, you who are of the literary generation, you see a world event in a cold print of tomorrow's newspaper. Detached and dispassionate, you react no more to it than you would do to the lace comic of the strip of Tarzan or Prince Valiant. You may be well informed, but are you concerned? Are you involved? But we who are young, we who are of the television generation, we see the world event happening before our eyes exactly the way it happens and probably in exactly the time it happens, halfway across the world, there in stark urgency, in living color and high-fidelity sound, we see played out before us the splendor and the meanness of the human spirit, the inspiring heights to which it can ascend and the mighty depths to which it can sink, and we cry out, there, but for the grace of God go I. That man, torn to shreds by the mad dogs of white supremacy, who is black of skin, he is my brother. That man waylaid by a gang of hoodlums, that man ripped apart by a bomb in a holy war, their blood is as red as mine, they are my brothers. What happens to them happens to me. And those who are poor and without hope, those who live from hand to mouth on scraps and rotten bananas, thrown from the table of those who have more than enough wealth to last them 10 lifetimes. They are my brothers too, and the bells that toll for them toll for me. When will the balance sheet be balanced? By whom? How? Thus to be informed, to be concerned, and then a step further, to be involved. Self-involvement, a sense of conscious participation in the actions and passions of our times. And we who are young cry out to you who are no longer young, our fathers, our leaders, our keepers, and we say, you taught us peace and the brotherhood of man. Suffer us then to march in protest against violence and crime, foreign bases, unequal treaties, and the horror of holy wars. You taught us peace and human dignity. Suffer us then to grieve in anger for the Negroes in America and South Africa, for the poor and the hungry among us, for the friendless, the cheated, and the beaten. You taught us self-involvement. Suffer us then, since you have not given us the vote, to use the only means we have to advance our cause, demonstrations and confrontations. You taught us the value of sacrifice. Suffer us then to suffer the brutality of those who would club us into silence, nameplates removed with authority dangling from a gun holster. Suffer us to dream the impossible dream, to right the unrightable wrong, to reach the unreachable star. More tomorrow, my dear friends. This is Larry Henares making your day, saying good day, God bless you. Thank you very much for being with us. Till next time, hasta la bye-bye.